Hey guys, Hatha here. Wanted to share my thoughts with you on alts, specifically before 600. I know everyone's chomping at the bit to get to tier 2 if you haven't already, to get into those higher level fights, but I don't think it's worth it to be investing a ton in alts right away. And then there's also the concern of funneling resources. If you're not careful, you can end up with a bunch of untradeable tier 1 honing materials when you're in tier 2 that you can't do anything with. At least not that I've found. So just kind of want to share my thoughts on this. So basically, my thoughts are, alts are okay. I wouldn't hone them, at least not until you reach a certain point with your main. So run the alts at 302, run your chaos dungeons, funnel what you can to your main, but don't hone any of their gear until you get this research in the stronghold, which is increased tier 1 honing success rate. So that's 302. Equipment level 1 through 15, the basic honing success rate is increased by 20%. Now that's huge. So if you're having a problem with failing your hones, it's an RNG issue. I didn't have many failures getting to tier 2, but one of my buddies, Telik, he failed all the time. And I know it's super frustrating for people that have that problem. So this research is super important. It's going to make sure that you don't waste a bunch of tier 1 honing materials, both for, and this is only going to apply to your alts. Obviously you don't have this research. You have to get to tier 2 with your main in order to research this, so it's not going to impact your main. But if you wait to hone your alt gear until you have this research, you're going to save yourself a ton of tier 1 honing materials for your alts. And then you can continue to just run your alts, and if you want to funnel stuff to your main, or if you want to invest your stuff into your alts to try and have multiple characters for endgame, that's totally fine, I think. And then one last thing I wanted to talk about: if you're struggling to hit tier 2, just make sure you're running your islands. I know you've probably heard it a lot, and your dailies as well. You can get so many honing materials from islands, and I'm not going to cover them all in this guide because there's a ton, but a few that I started off with were Shadow Island, Panda Island. There's a few like that. I can't think of them all right now, but look them up. There's plenty of sites out there. I'll probably do a video later on, but you just get tons of honing materials from running islands. So if you're struggling to get to tier 2, hitting that 600 item level, I would say don't invest honing materials in your alts. Maybe run alts and funnel what you get from chaos dungeons and stuff to your main, and then on your main make sure that you're running your islands, and you should be able to hit 600 no problem. Hopefully you guys have good RNG. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is, when you're honing, don't use stars on blue on your armor. Only use the stars on your weapon. And the reason for that is that it's a lot harder to find the red honing materials than it is the blue. So if you're gonna use this, and you don't have a lot of stars, so if you're gonna use stars on anything, use it on the weapon, just to make sure that you're not failing those, because it is harder to get the red honing materials. But that's it. Hope you guys find this helpful. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll try to keep the content coming. Take care.